Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the David Starlyte Show. I just see something wavering behind my painting. It's over there. Just going to move that a little bit. That doesn't really help. Okay. So welcome everyone, new and old. It's a slightly different time for some people. I heard there was a time change, so bear with me. Welcome from Australia, Marianne. Mariana, you're already there. Hi. And every week, same time, depending on the time zones, we are on giving psychic readings and discussing issues about time manifestation, 3D, 4D, 5D. I tend to cover multiple topics of consciousness, of mindfulness, of this world, of beyond this world, of multiple worlds, of illusions, and awakening. So many topics, many discussions, and I always appreciate everyone's comments. You can contribute to the show always by liking and sharing the show. YouTube really responds to those likes. It makes a big difference, but even dislikes do get a YouTube response. So if you don't like the show, even a dislike has actually help us. So help us to become relevant or become more relevant. So during this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me earn money. Somebody was asking last week about the PayPal link. I see it's not currently running. I'm just looking at the banners. Let me just start the banner. So there's the banner on the bottom of the show. So that banner shows you the exact PayPal link to donate. If you do feel called to donate, someone last week was asking, there it is. So it does need to be spelled correctly, of course. But that PayPal link is Starlight Meditations. So if you are wishing to donate, please write that down correctly. And welcome to Carlos and Marianne. I still see the green M, the beautiful green M. You're becoming like McDonald's, Marianne. The big M, and Carlos is with me. I'm a little bit tired, Carlos. I had a very busy week and was kind of juggling things, so I'm pretty tired, a little bit drained, to be honest. How about you? How is it going? I'm just moving myself up. Trying to get that. I'm trying to just, but I can't seem to. There's actually a mirror that's creating that little shape there. Oh, that's a little bit better. Carlos says, share. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here. How has your week been? How are you? What's happening for you? Can anyone dislike PF? I don't know what PF is. PF. What is PF? PF. And Carla says, I'm good. That's great. Marianne says, I'm still trying to add the picture. It was so easy to do for Facebook. Yeah, it's really easy, Marianne. You can always Google, if you're struggling with that. But psychic fixes. Oh, I see, Carla. So it's really easy, Marianne. It's not designed to be difficult, so you just need to change your image, and that would be much appreciated. You can also go to you can also enter the show via Facebook, Marianne, so maybe that would help you if you enter the show via Facebook. It's live on Facebook Psychic Fixes and also on YouTube, so you have two opportunities or two ways to come onto the show. So I may be a little bit slow today, or maybe I'm always a little bit slow because I've been working on a writing project which has been around artificial intelligence, AI. So not a topic that I'm necessarily so familiar with, but it was more a philosophical exercise, more about a philosophical background for AI, and I was encouraging a positive worldview, a positive view about the possibilities of AI to help humanity, to assist humanity, and bring on a golden age through being an assistant, through being a compassionate technology. So that was really my vantage point about creating compassionate technology, and that helping us live better lives and awaken quicker. It's all about seeing through the illusion and awakening, manifesting our what we want to experience, and seeing everything in the world as something that we have created, we have manifested. So we cannot be victims of our experience if we created that experience. And perhaps we created it to suffer, to learn something, to definitely we grow through suffering, to move on to a different path, to change our insight, to change our way of seeing the world. Perhaps we do it for other people so they may see the world in a different way and have the opportunity for awakening, for a different perspective on the world. So we are kind of a symphony. The world is kind of a symphony. We're part of that symphony. We play a chord, we play our music, and other people too. And it isn't really about right or wrong. You know, everyone's got their own unique style, their own unique vibration. But it's also a strange thought always that we all have. I'm just checking the dog. I'm sorry. You know, we're all made up by millions and millions, or is it billions and billions of cells? So our bodies are made up of cells, which makes up our consciousness. And it's always a strange thought because each cell has some awareness. Each cell has some intelligence. So what does that mean? That we are collective. We are collective of cells. What does it feel like to be a collective of cells? So say hi in the comments. I'm just checking up on the dog. She's calmed down and relaxed, so that's all good. And how's your day going? What's happening in your world? What's new? What is emerging for you? What are you manifesting? And Carlos has written the Facebook page, Psychic Fixes, PF Psychic Fixes. Yeah, so PF is for Psychic PF, so thank you, Carlos. And anyone else wants to share something of themselves? And how are you manifesting? So we always imagine that our mind can move in any direction, can go in any place, to any given timeline, any reality, this world, another world. Our mind has an ability to move through portals, to expand through multiple consciousnesses, if that's a word, consciousnesses, plural conscious. And sorry, I just left your message on there, Carlos. So you have the ability to move through different consciousnesses, different layers of consciousness. There's multiple dimensions, and our mind can move through that and create new realities for our self-experience, different realities. But everything we are experiencing now is a manifestation. So it's a manifestation of our mind. So when you want to fashion a new experience, you can plant a seed in your mind. So say, well, I would like to learn tennis. As an example. And that is like planting a seed. All right, well, what's the next step? Well, are there any local tennis clubs? We'll find out where the tennis clubs exist. So where is the tennis court? You may need to find a tennis court. Or you could play on the beach. We used to play beach bats. We loved it. It was a really amazing sport. Just the example of tennis, you know, maybe there's some tennis courts. Maybe we have a tennis court next door. And, well, what else? Maybe tennis shoes, tennis racket, tennis balls. And already you're setting things in motion. So something is being created in your life that just started with an idea. So we are that powerful. Our minds, we can just have a simple idea and go from there. So Carlos has given us great feedback, even though I'm not feeling my best today, Carlos. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Debbie, David, and Kim are the best readers on Psychic Fixes. I respect them so much, Carlos. Thank you, and I respect you too. What's new? The police are now looking for my friend's birds. When I scurry, I feel the area where she is. I don't know what scrying. When I scry, I don't know what that is, Marianne. Just remind me. I think I've heard that scry before, but let me know what that means. It's not clear to me, so that would be much appreciated. Let me know if you're online, anything you're struggling with, and anything you would like me to discuss. That always helps. I'm just here, passing through this existence, this portal, this human portal, and many of us are awakened, many of us are awakening, many are on the path of awakening, and that has different meanings for different people. But essentially, the world as we see it is an illusion. The movie The Matrix kind of summed it up. It's what we think is real. It's just consciousness. It's just creation of the mind. So the world as we see it is actually, in quantum physics, is actually empty. So we see things as like a chair, a table, a bed, but it's actually empty space. So what we see is not what actually exists. What we feel is also not actually substantial. It's all underlying it all is emptiness. So many ideas about awakening, but some tends to be about seeing through the world. Definitely not connecting to the news, the media stories, realizing the media is an illusion that's just giving you an impression, giving you a story, and usually it's just giving you bad news. But it's nowadays we realize that it's filled with bias, and they're trying to put the wool over your eyes. They're trying to tell you that a world exists that doesn't really exist. Scary, like finding a spot on a map with an object. Oh, I see, Marianne. Okay, I get you. I sort of get you. I'm not too familiar with that. Using divination. Jennifer Booth, growth looks different for everyone. And we're all here to grow in different directions. Everyone does have a unique growth potential, unique soul, unique body. But our bodies have incredible capacity. Our minds have incredible capacity. So, we are the ones who place so much limitation on ourselves through, often through indoctrination, through experiences we had at school, through our family, that gives us an image of the world, or gives us an image of ourselves that is limited, that says, well, you cannot run, well, you're to this, you're to that, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It tries to fit you into a box, and we are not boxes. And everyone can play tennis. They have the most amazing contraptions. Even people who are in wheelchairs can play tennis. So I was talking about tennis earlier as an example. The limitation is so real for many of us. And limitations can be like, I don't want to talk to a stranger. I don't want to talk to, for some people, I don't want to talk to a person of a certain gender. I don't want to, talk to that gender. Or for some people, they believe they have projections of talking to old people. I don't want to talk to old people, or I don't want to talk to kids. I don't want to talk to young people. Kids have all the possibility and potentiality within them. They have all the potential. They need older people with wisdom, with experience to guide them. So we are the guides for the young people. And The young people are not better than us. They may be more, more youthful, more energetic, but we have the experience. It's not that some people feel the young are taking over the world. The young need guidance. They need people who've been there who can give them a direction, because we have got there, we have the experience. So definitely the youth is often celebrated in this world, and people can be quite superficial with that. But it's, everything is temporary, especially youth. It's short-lived, it's transient. So it's not really something that we can hold on to. Everyone has their life purpose, so the youth is part of that. But it's like a tree, a sapling, a tree that's growing up and gives shade to others. Once you reach a certain age, maybe 35, 40, you're called mature, and you are here living your purpose, and that part of that purpose is to guide and support other people in their growth. So growth looks different for everyone, and everyone's a different age, a different shape, a different size. This billion cells or whatever it is moving in different directions to other people. But remember that consciousness is what makes the world real, what makes it real to us. And we can change our consciousness. We can always change our consciousness. So partly taking a deep breath into our body, putting our focus on that breath fully. So from the inhalation of our breath to allowing our whole space internally to fill with that air, to fill with the new air, and then to breathe it all out. And that breathing all out is letting go. So always come back to the breath. It awakens us to our consciousness. Welcome, Amy. You're a beautiful Amy. So I'd love to see your picture. Everyone, I'd love to see your picture. It just makes the show much more rich and much more real and much more alive. A beautiful blue A, which is great. M has a beautiful M. Marianne has a beautiful green M. And what about psychic predictions? What about the future? Does anyone have any predictions? Because right now it's certainly like a bit of a collective cyclone. It seems like the storm has hit the world, and we do need to go through a lot of changes. So there's a lot of positive coming out of this. But it surely is a bit crazy, all this change going on. But really the systems that were need to be evolved, need to be transformed, need to be awakened, need to be changed, need to be improved, updated, upgraded. That's the word I was looking for. Upgraded, renewed. So everything does need to be renewed. We've lived in a shadow of lies and deception for too long. So now is time to bring light into the shadows, bring everything out in the open, and create systems that work for everyone, not just serving the rich, not just enriching the rich, or the people that control it all, the architects of the matrix. So there's different versions of what that is, what type of consciousnesses are around. I have heard people talk about off-Earth or extraterrestrial origins for the matrix and for the design of the earthly realm, the earthly system. So I find that quite interesting. Some people even, they add on to that belief and believe in a flat Earth. And I've actually met people who believe that the Earth is flat. I find that extraordinary, but I find it really interesting how, we take something for granted. We think something is a certain way, but perhaps it is just our perception. There are other ways of seeing the world, and there isn't necessarily black and white. It isn't always absolute truth. It's really, we live in this kind of spectrum. Our reality is a kind of spectrum. It's a kind of continuum. So if you're sitting on the beach, the earth may seem pretty flat, but if you are up, on the moon, you're going to see the earth as a ball, as a globe, as a geoidal, whatever they call it, the planet. So planetary creations are moving around the sun, moving around the galaxy. It's all very interesting when we look at space travel and how there's just been a lot of attempted space landings. I think Luna just crashed onto the moon. I think then they have 2 moon landings. So we're having moon landings, and there's a lot going on in terms of people wanting to go into space, wanting to travel. Of course, it carries a lot of risks, but there are people willing to take that risk. And anything that does happen is part of the life purpose. So death is part of our life. We hear. So it's part of this experience. And sorry again for leaving the comments on. Would love to see your picture. So, it's always sad when anyone passes over, and when animals pass over. It is sad, and it is part of the purpose of this world. It's part of this adventure. So, I always say, don't get overly attached to the illusion of this world, because it will suck you, it will grip you, it will emotionally test you, and that's part of the experience. But ultimately, it is all an illusion. It doesn't mean it means that we are here to play a game. We're here to play the game of life. We're here to get control of that narrative, get control of the movie. We're here to direct the movie. So we're here to be directors of our own movie. Amy says hi. I think I said hi to you already, Amy. And Jennifer says, I think we have to hold the light. Absolutely, I agree with that, Jennifer. A lot of people are not okay, and that's true. And people are suffering, and I've suffered too. And it's emotions are definitely can feel very real. And I'm not saying don't feel anything or feelings aren't real. Everything the world feels real. All I'm saying is ultimately it is an illusion. It's a creation of our consciousness. We can uncreate it. We can recreate it. We can shift perspective. And life and death is part of this illusion. We never die. Our souls are what keeps living. It's a portal of consciousness. And Marianne says it's the ultimate adventure. Absolutely, it's the ultimate adventure. I love that. Marianne. So what do you think of space travel? Would you go to Mars? Would you go to the moon? Where else can we travel to? Because there's some things that are pretty far away. Can we break the speed of light? I think Einstein said we cannot go faster than the speed of light. I don't see why. I think we can move through portals and wormholes, so that's just my thoughts. We will be able to move through wormholes and move to other dimensions, perhaps. But there are so many other planets out in the world, and many of them are sort of pretty undeveloped, less, they don't have human beings. Marianne says, I'd like to go to Venice since it's similar to Earth. So what I've read and listened to a lot of different channels is that there is life on Venice, and they're called the Venusians. So I'm interested in what you think about that, Marianne. And perhaps we shall be able to go to Venice. I wasn't aware that Venice was similar to Earth. I thought Mars was similar, but there's from what I believe, Mars did used to be alive, a living planet, but it was destroyed. So I do believe that Mars has remnants of intelligent life, and it did have an atmosphere, so that has been destroyed. And perhaps we as human beings are here to recreate this, to recreate life on Mars. That would be something. I had a reading from a lady who said I had a Venusian dragon guide. Isn't that amazing, Jennifer? Venusian. So there's a lot of connection with the consciousness of Venus, and I'd like, I'd like to know if you believe there is life on Venus or other life in other parts of our solar system. That she liked offerings of pink glitter. Well, we all love a bit of pink glitter, Chen. A little bit of pink glitter, though. That sounds great. Mars needs too many adaptations. Mercury is too hot. Yeah, Mars would need a lot of changes that I think in the long term, I think it is definitely possible. It's just, of course, it takes time. So we need to, I've heard some theories, I think, was it a nuclear, using nuclear energy or something like that on Mars. But it needs to be, a lot of things need to be broken apart, and then we can start to grow trees and plants. So I think it's something that could take a few hundred years. It's not something that could be immediately achieved. I certainly think there's all kinds of life across space. Me too, Jan. And have you seen other life forms? Have they visited you? A lot of people have been abducted. I think there were times, like I think it was in the 80s, when it was like everyone was getting abducted. So I find that really interesting. Marianne says terraforming, so making Mars like the Earth. So I do believe Mars had abundant life, and that's been destroyed, but now it is up to us to recreate it. And certainly there is life across all the space. Jen says it's possible. We can use our minds collectively to create something truly extraordinary. So, just the belief that something's possible almost invites us to make it happen. But sometimes we need to take some leaps. We need to, even just going on vacation, going to a new country, it's a leap of faith. It's going out there, and we get more confident the more we do it. But it's the same with space, with what's out there. It does require a leap of faith. It does require sometimes pushing beyond our limited technology and trusting that we can develop new technologies. We can shift things for the collective, for transformation, for new technology. I love Third Encounters and ET, and how extraordinary that Hollywood has been feeding us this for so long. Especially, I guess, since around the early 80s with E.T. I think that was about 1980 or maybe 1979 or late 70s. And that was a time when, in a way, technology was quite backward, but it was emerging. And we had so many movies like Third Encounters and E.T., which were like the most popular movies of our time, and they were breakthrough movies because they were based on reports. They didn't come from nowhere, but they've seeded the consciousness of Earth. So they seeded humanity with this consciousness of they're out there. They're our friends. Some of them are friends. Maybe some of them are having Star Wars. There's light and dark in us, and so it makes sense that there's light and dark in the whole universe, but it's made this normal. It's normalized it to have Hollywood that has so many movies about these third encounters and ET and meeting different funny beings. I think Star Wars is great with all the funny looking heads, but it'd be really interesting to have a diverse human species with another species, or multiple species inhabiting the same planet. And maybe they're already here. Maybe we just not necessarily aware of them. Or at a federation like Star Trek, and I'm sure that does exist, the Galactic Federation. That's based on reality. And I believe Star Trek, there was definitely the writers were channeling. They had an ability to see into the future. And sometimes it's just almost like a logical continuum where if that happens, then this happens, and that happens, and what happens next. So, flying cars is another thing. And these things are just almost inevitable in terms of technological development, what happens next. And Vlad, welcome to the show, Vlad. I'm pretty tired. I had lots of writing in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and so I'm just recovering. It was really busy, so physically, energetically, I just need a bit of a rest. And Vlad, are you warm? How are you? What's happening? It just seems so volatile in the world at the moment. Like things are just expanding, breaking apart. The truth is coming out in many areas. The files are being released. Governments are changing. Economies are turbulent. Prices are going up. So the more you can grow your own food, I would encourage everyone to learn about that. I've been planting all sorts of things, and just a little bit here, a little bit there. Becoming more independent is really important. And there's so much you can do just in your kitchen with things like sprouting, and you can buy all sorts of great things to make sprouting really easy, effortless, and straightforward. So nothing is holding us back. We have the whole world. And Vlad, I'm sending you a big smile. I'm just going to pick a card for Vlad today. Marianne says, learning to cook from scratch. Well, that's always fun. I think in the Asian culture, rice, everyone just, every day they make rice. It's this constant thing, rice. Vlad says, hope all is well. Yeah, Vlad, I made the writing project. It was something about artificial intelligence. So quite interesting. And it just took a lot of time and energy. So let's have a look at Vlad. We're just going to pick from a different deck for you, Vlad, which is the Starseed Oracle. Okay. All right. So the Starseed Oracle is telling you to look a little bit deeper, Vlad. It's to explore something that perhaps you've heard about, you've been curious about, but this is saying, well, delve a little bit deeper into our origins, our true origins, lost wisdom, the hidden secrets, our ancestors. So the ancients knew about our connection with the stars. You just think of all the tribes, how we would dance around the fire at night and look up into the stars. But we have so many remnants of those times, the pyramids, temples, so many temples, places of worship that were created in alignment with the stars, that exist in all corners of the world. So we have these ancient connections and traditions. And this ancient wisdom is being called to you, Vlad. It's being called, you're being invited to remember to bring this into your knowingness, to see the depth of our history, to bring this as the ancient secrets as a transmission. So you're here to transmit this information, to receive it, to bring those soul memories, awaken those soul memories, to so you're ready to bring these secrets, to bring the mysteries and secrets from our history, Vlad. So that's an interesting card for you. I just started 2 sprouting projects, dragon fruit and also blueberries. Well, that is really cool. Wow. Dragon fruit and blueberries. I've got a few dragon fruit growing outside. I've got some dragon fruit. I don't have any blueberries though. Vlad says, thank you, Vlad. And Marianne, we need your picture, Marianne. We need your picture. Okay. Okay, Marianne, let's have a look. All right, so interesting cards for you, Marianne, and it's to interpret this. It's quite, let's have a look. So you've got the Andromeda energy coming to you, which is almost like it's a strong energy, shifting things into adventure, into change, into new beginnings. But then you also need to let go of things. So it's beckoning you, it's inviting you, but you need to let go of things and allow for things to be complex, allow for things to surrender to the complexity. That's what that is saying. It's saying that you're going to get through this, that there's new solutions coming to you, new beginnings. So it's a process of transformation. You're going through a lot of awakenings, expandings, shiftings. But ultimately, you've got this. You've been preparing for this for lifetimes, and you're part of the shift. You're part of the shift in this new Earth, in this planet. Vlad says thank you. You says hell 9 and hello. So hello you. I don't know what your name is, you, or if you're a real person. So please share your picture. And anyone else? Is anyone else online? So Jen, let's have a look. I don't know if you're online, Jen. Jessica is there. I need a name and a picture of you because I don't really know what 1082. I don't know what that is. We need a name. Jessica, welcome to the show. Ready for the eclipse. My name is Yusra. So you is actually short for Yusra. So welcome to Yusra. Welcome to the show. Where are you, Yusra? And where is your picture? Jessica says ready for the eclipse. Yeah, there's just so much going on energetically, Jess, that it's I think right now I need a bit of rest. And are you ready for the eclipse? So Yusra is in Belgium. So user, you can go ahead and ask a question from Belgium. Welcome to the show. It's always nice to have new people on. Mariana, I don't know if you're still online, so I'll also say hi to Mariana. And just a reminder to like and share the show. It helps the algorithms, and you can always support the show as well through digital gifts and PayPal. Marianne says, interesting. I wonder if it can tie into my earliest life, a sea person at the time of Atlantis. Oh, that sounds amazing, Marianne. And so that's extraordinary that you can remember that. I'm quite intrigued, Marianne, that you're able to remember that. That's pretty amazing. What was the Earth like then, Marianne? What was it like then? User, thank you. Will I find love this year and be in a relationship? All right. So, user, let's have a look. Marianne says, mermaid in paradise. That sounds wonderful. So what were you doing in the sea when you say you were a mermaid, a sea person? Were you a fisherman, a fisherwoman? Or were you a dolphin, perhaps, Marianne? Jess says, I caught a cold, so I'm resting, but as you do, I think one should rest. Absolutely. We need to balance our bodies, balance our minds, and our minds need rest just like our bodies. And welcome to Jimmy. Welcome to the show. User says, Jessica, I wish you a speedy recovery. So thank you, User. All right, so we were busy just having a look into these cards. All right, so at the moment it feels like there's this kind of stormy energy for you, user. It feels like also you are, I would say, looking at the world, looking at other people like I want that, I want this, I want that. It's like a shopping list. And that's disconnecting yourself from your own consciousness, your own soul path, your own reality. So you do create your own reality, but looking at everyone else is kind of depleting you. You're ending up nowhere because everyone's on their own little path, and you have your own path to live. You have your own life to live, Yusra. So I feel some turbulence around for definitely later this year. There's some kind of turbulence going on. And then I'm feeling like you're going to find some kind of wisdom, some kind of spiritual union, and see the energies of yin and yang, and see you're part of it, the yin and the yang in balance. So there's a complementary energy coming later in the year, which is more balancing. I am seeing different possibilities arising to answer your question. So it doesn't feel like, you're going to be in a committed relationship, but it feels like you are going to be looking at some possibilities. So there are going to be some options for you coming into this space. The energy, overall energy that's calling is a balance of yin and yang, so which is a complementary energy. So that could be saying that is inevitably coming to you, this yin-yang synthesis, this yin-yang balance. So that's That's really positive, Yusri. So just take a moment to connect to your own consciousness and reconnect to your own soul calibration, who you are in the world, who you are, and don't look so much at what other people are doing. So that's all I have for you, Yusri. Marianne is a mermaid in paradise. Jimmy says hi. Jessica says thank you, Yusra. Marianne says she was a mother, a wife, playing fins with my husband. And at the end, when the island shook itself into sinking. Wow, you can remember all of that, Marianne? That is pretty extraordinary. So you did it all in Atlantis. Yusri says yes, so no relationship. Well, the cards indicated that there were options. So it didn't say no. It just said options. So options are options. Usually don't try and know everything. Life isn't like that. Just one step at a time. Be patient. And don't try to force things, Yusri. That's what I get for you. Don't try and force things. Just go with the flow. Let things, arise naturally, effortlessly, and how they are meant to be. So Marianne, that is amazing, amazing, amazing. So a mermaid in paradise. So that would be a great picture for you, actually, in the ocean, or mermaid picture. I would love to see that, Marianne. And so please, next week, let me see you. So thanks everyone for being on the show today. We'll be on at the same time next week. It's been an honor to serve you here. Please do like and share the show, and come back next week with your questions, comments, and requests for readings. Love you all, and take care. Have a